For number 8, we need to know instantly what we're dealing with. Now, the choices I don't think tell us much, okay? So we can maybe think about verb agreement because it looks like these are different verbs. That's fine. I mean, we could think about singulars and plural. The only thing that really jumps out here is we got a singular contains. I guess A is also singular because it also has the word contains. B and D would be different tenses, and so they don't really have a singular plural. And we're talking about Greek yogurt, so that's a singular thing. When we have the word it, so it makes sense to be singular. So if you thought about verbs first, that's fine. That doesn't end up mattering. Beyond that, though, we need to see, okay, maybe the choices don't really tell us what to care about, but the sentence itself does. The sentence is a list, and lists are very important on the SAT. We've seen another question that dealt with the punctuation of lists. Now we're dealing with the symmetry of lists. Every part of a list has to kind of follow the same format. And so we need to be able to kind of know that, so that way we're looking at the other parts of the list and kind of looking for that pattern. And so the verb is the key. What are the verbs here? It is an excellent source of calcium and protein. Serves as a digestive aid was the answer to that question. And so is, serves, contains would be the right continuation of that pattern. Those are all verbs in the present tense. So that gets rid of B and D, and to be honest, you probably could have just put those into the sentence and kind of sounded it out, and they would have sounded weird, I hope. Though that doesn't solve the problem of the it. Why do we need it? Why do we not need it? Well, generally speaking, we like shorter answer choices. So if that's the only thing that you have left to kind of help you, then yeah, fine. That would mean picking C, and C is the answer. But the more grammatical reason why that is wrong, why the it is wrong, is that we don't need it. We already have it. We have it in the beginning. And it almost works the way that distribution does in math, right? If we have like a 3 on the outside of something, we kind of distribute it into both parts, and then miraculously there it is. It's in both parts without having kind of started there. So the it is kind of doing that here. It's outside of where the start of this list is, and so it's being distributed to all parts. And so that can be confusing at the beginning because it's already right next to the is, and there are no actual parentheses to show us that. But the key place to look is the second part of the list, the part that's not underlined, the part that we can't change. The word serves. That word does not have an it on it. So we can't, so that's establishing the pattern for us. That's telling us that the it that's all the way at the beginning is also counting here. And so to keep the pattern going, the word contains also doesn't need an it because it's already covered at the beginning and being distributed to all parts of the list. Hopefully that little metaphor helps you. That's how I think about it, is it's like distribution in math, is things can kind of apply to all parts of a list or of an equation. But if not, then in general, you really do want to just stick with shorter choices, and unless you have a good reason to pick them, pick longer choices. And so we don't really have a good reason here, so C is the safer bet anyway. That rule does come up, and generally speaking, if you see a list on an SAT and there's a question involved, then probably involves the list. So pay attention to that, get your brain on that right track. That's what predicting the question is all about. We might not notice this it thing unless we see the big picture of the list. So I don't want you to miss that. Look at the sentence, look at the choices, predict the question.